Hello shapeshifter and doppelgangers alike, I'm Cosplay and welcome to my channel. So today I'm gonna try to do something a little bit different, which is I'm gonna try to recreate a look made by another makeup artist. So today I want to try to recreate the look of Eddie the Mummy that has been done by Lex from MadeYewLook. So before we jump into the subject, just some quick reminder. You can give a like and subscribe to the channel in order to see more of my cosplay makeup tips and tricks and some of my makeup transformation video. You can also follow me on Instagram to see picture of my makeup, and you can find the link in the description. So before I start doing the makeup, I just want to do a quick rundown of what a makeup look is, what are the products that she used, how I will do it, how I have to adapt. So, and then I'm gonna jump into the makeup. So first, I just want to give a quick introduction about my makeup experience, because I never really talked about it in another video. So I'm an amateur makeup artist. I've been doing it as a hobby for the last 2.5 years. I never took any makeup lesson. I never had any art lesson at school. Mostly everything I learned was from books for drawing when I was a teenager, and for makeup I mostly learned with YouTube tutorials and experiments. So I developed my own technique along the way. I discovered Lex from MadeYewLook because I followed, or I should say I tried following some of her tutorial, but I learned some technique from her videos. Especially I tried when I started to do it.I from Iron Maiden, and I had an hard time, especially finding the right shade to do his skin. So that's how I found her video. I never really followed it at the beginning because I wanted to just do like the classical it.I. So, but I think I tried doing it.I like 7 times. You can find some of the older version at the bottom of my Instagram feed. It wasn't that good, at least the last version I was more comfortable, but now I am more comfortable with makeup to try to do something a little harder, so that's why I try to do this look. So also some disclaimer about things that's gonna be a little bit different. First of all, obviously I have my own technique, my own way of doing things. Normally I do all the outlining, then everything with the body paint, then everything with the eyeshadow, and she does it in a different order. At the end I will do pretty much the same step, but just not, maybe not in the same order. Also, I will really focus on doing the face. I will not do any body paint on my torso, and the main reason is because I'm hairy as f***. So I don't want to shave, it's always really uncomfortable, so I just focus on the face. I looked at the product that she used. I was surprised. There's actually not a lot of products. It's mainly Marin Paradise paints and eyeshadows. So for the Marin Paradise paint, she used the shade Dijon, light brown, dark brown, black, and light gray. I couldn't find in stores near me Dijon and light gray, so instead for Dijon I will use mango, and for light gray I will take storm cloud gray and mix it with some white. And for the eyeshadow I will take the one that I have, probably mostly from Makeup Forever. So before we start, I will do a step that it's gonna be way harder for me than for her, and is concealing those amazing Amazonian rainforest eyebrows. I mean, I have big eyebrows, so I'm gonna do that. I mean, they are big, they are bushy. The US thought that I was hiding Osama bin Laden in it, so it's gonna take some time for me to cover my eyebrows. I will use the glue stick technique, and then once it's done, I'm gonna go back. So now my eyebrows are done. So basically how I do it is I cover them using Elmer purple glue stick, and then I cover it with the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer and set it with the Rimmel Stay Matte setting powder. I do really love the It Cosmetic concealer because it's thick. So that's pretty much how I cover my eyebrows. So now the next step is priming my whole face. So if you're curious to see, I won't go in as much detail, but I made a complete video about it, so you can check it out. So now that my face is all primed up, the first step is tracing. So I will also have the same reference picture as her on my computer. So obviously we don't have the same face shape. She have a more delicate and feminine face, while mine is more blocky and just plain big. So I will look at a reference picture and adapt it to my face. Also, for tracing, she used body paint and a brush. For me, I don't like it because it's kind of long, so instead I will use my trusty Makeup Forever Artist Color pencil. So I'll trace everything and I'll be back.
I'm going to start off using light brown Paradise paint and also the MadeYewLook detail brush to give the bandages an outline. And no, the lines do not have to be perfect. Of course, it's easiest to look at a photo of Eddie while doing this makeup. I'm also going to draw on his teeth as well as the chains that he's chewing on.
I did pretty much the same thing as her. The main difference is that I decided to have the pin that Eddie had in the middle of his forehead. I also had a thin layer of white lipstick on my lips as a primer before applying the body paint.
I'm going to fill in Eddie's teeth using polished ivory, matte chroma cake, and also the MadeYewLook detail shadow brush. I'm then going to shade his teeth using the same colors that I used for his face, which is kind of like a really light brown, some gold tones, yellow tones. Then I'm going to go back in once again using the MadeYewLook detail brush in black Paradise paint. I'm outlining the teeth, giving them a little bit of cracks. I'm going to be filling in the bandages with the same polished ivory matte chroma cake as I did the teeth.
Here I'm using Maroon Paradise paint in white to fill all the bandages.
I'm going to paint everywhere but the places I just outlined with Dijon Paradise paint and also using the MadeYewLook eyeshadow brush. I'm also going to leave my eye area open and make it kind of an evil looking shape.
As I said earlier, here I'm using mango body paint instead of the shade Dijon that I just couldn't find.
I'm going to leave that alone for a minute and go back in and fill my chains using light gray Paradise paint and the MadeYewLook detail brush.
Here I'm filling the chains using Maroon Paradise paint in shade Storm Cloud Grey, and then I'm also adding highlight using Maroon Paradise paint in silver. I'm also outlining all the chain using black body paint. I am now using the same colors in order to fill the pin in the middle of Eddie's forehead.
Although you really shouldn't skip around to like the finished product when doing makeup, I'm now going to fill in my eyes using MadeYewLook eyeshadow brush and black Paradise paint.
Here, after I have filled most of my eyes with Maroon Paradise paint in black, I'm using Paradise paint in dark brown to start shading around the bandages, especially making the outline between the bandages on the top of my forehead. I am now adding more highlight into Eddie's face, mixing in white body paint, especially under the eye and over the eye where the eyebrow would be. I now start adding wrinkles using dark brown body paint and a very tiny brush.
Taking black Paradise paint, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a base for where his nose would be. And then switching over to the MadeYewLook eyeshadow brush and BH Cosmetics black eyeshadow, I'm going to blend his nose out a little bit more. I'm also going to bring that black down into the area that's sunken in.
Here I do an extra step. I mix in some yellow body paint in the bandages, and then I mix Storm Cloud body paint into the bandages as well, and I blend everything in using white body paint to top all that off. I have to say, in retrospect, the yellow body paint was maybe too much. I should have stick only using eyeshadow for the yellow, but hey, I did it. I assume it. But if I would do it again, I would not put that much yellow. Then I outline all the bandages using black body paint. So where the bandages connect, I also start shading using black body paint. I do it very lightly. I want it to look more gray than black, but yeah, add some shade where they intersect, but just don't go overboard with black. Here I do an extra step of painting eyes over my eyelid. I first start with the blue of the Makeup Forever Flash palette, then I top it off with a blue highlighter. I also have black gel liner on my waterline, then I fill everything else of the eye area using an ink liner and a gel liner, and I'm topping all that with black eyeshadow. Then I start shading my teeth with eyeshadow. I start setting all that with white eyeshadow, then I shade with gray eyeshadow, then I outline everything with black eyeshadow, and I do some highlight in the middle to mimic enamel using white highlighter.
I'm going to add on the verge of my nose, the verge of his nose, using the MadeYewLook eyeshadow brush and a medium brown from Cosmetics. And I'm going to bring that line down towards the bandage that's going across my face. Shade in that area a little bit.
I add more shading to the rest of my face using two shades of brown eyeshadow, a light one and a dark one. I use a bigger brush for the lighter one and a smaller brush for the dark one, so I want to make really small gradients in order to get a very smooth shading. And it's important as well to blend everything in. I also repeating the same process for all the wrinkle on Hetty's head. I also had some white eyeshadows between the wrinkle to highlight the skin between the wrinkles. I shade below the bandages using some gray eyeshadows. To deepen the shade around the bandages, I also add black eyeshadow using a liner brush.
And also, once again, going back to those wrinkles and giving them a little bit more depth. When working with black, whether it's paint, whether it's eyeshadow, you always want to be light-handed with it. Have to be making really, really fine wrinkles all over his face. When doing this, make sure you're following the same wrinkles that you've already created. Using the Cosmetics light gray and dark gray, I'm going to shade each individual chain link.
Here I'm redoing the shading using two silver eyeshadow, a light one and a dark one, and I'm also re-adding some highlight using the MAC Dazzle Shadow in shade Stars in My Eye, which is a liquid silver eyeshadow. Then I redo all the process for the pin in the middle of his forehead. Now I set all the bandages using white eyeshadow.
To shade the bandages, I'm using the same color palette as I did for my face and for my teeth. I'm first taking a really light yellow from Cosmetics and shading the outer corners of every bandage. And to add some extra shading, I'm using the MadeYewLook eyeshadow brush and the Cosmetics gray eyeshadow. And I'm only shading the bandages where they connect or where a shadow would naturally be left on the bandages.
Here I'm just retouching the eyes to be more precise and to look better before taking the pictures. And this is the final result. So honestly, it doesn't look bad. It looks quite good actually. I think from all the time I tried to do Hetty, I think it's probably the best, to be honest. I think it's the best time. Obviously with the bandages it kind of changed the whole dynamic, but still I think it looked more realistic than my previous attempts. So I know I haven't done the video in the makeup in the same order that in her video, that I did my own twist, I added some steps as well, but I think at the end it looked quite similar. The main thing that I learned from her is not to stop being afraid of using black. In fact, she used a lot more black body paint, especially to do the outline and to do the shading. But let's be honest, black is a scary color because if you do mistakes, it's very hard to recover from it. So, but yeah, using more black, it helped to deepen the contrast and make things pop way more. So that's the main thing I learned from her. I know she have her own makeup brush company. I have to say, I'm quite curious about her liner brush, her detail brush. It looked quite good, so maybe that's one kind of brush that I will try to find and to add maybe in my kit. So I'm gonna show some more detailed picture of the makeup at the end of the video. So I hope you really enjoyed the video. If so, please feel free to give a like and subscribe to my channel to see more makeup like that and some videos like that. And I hope to see you in another video. Bye!